Hello students, I hope everything is fine at your end and you all are really enjoying this online teaching session. Today I am going to start with Maths 1 online session number 3. But before I start doing that, let us quickly recap of what we have already learned in session 1 and session 2. In session 1, I have told you what are linear equations and how to find solution of simultaneous equations by different methods. In session 2, I have taught you graphical method of finding solution to simultaneous equations. Today, I will be teaching you one more method of finding solution to simultaneous equation, that is called as Cramer's rule. Why it is called Cramer's rule? Because it was a method that was discovered by a mathematician called Cramer. Now, this method uses a concept of determinant. Now, determinant, I know it is a new term. I want you to understand by this presentation what is the meaning of the word determinant.
So in this video, we're going to find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. So let's start with this 2 by 2 matrix A. I generalized it and used letters instead of numbers, just so you can see the formula better. And the formula is the determinant of this matrix A is equal to A times D minus B times C. And notice how A times D is the red diagonal of this matrix, and B times C is the green diagonal of the matrix. So let's use this formula that I just showed you to find the determinant of this matrix B. And the determinant of matrix B is equal to A times D, which is our red diagonal. So our red diagonal are the numbers 3 and negative 6. I need to multiply these two numbers together, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to multiply 3 times negative 6. And we need to subtract B times C. And B times C is our green diagonal. Our green diagonal are the numbers 7 and negative 4. We need to multiply these two numbers together, so that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to multiply 7 times negative 4. And now the only thing that we have left to do is multiplication and subtraction. So the determinant of our matrix B is equal to 3 times negative 6, which is just negative 18, minus 7 times negative 4, which is negative 28. So the determinant of matrix B is equal to negative 18 minus negative 28, which is equal to negative 18 plus 28, which comes out to positive 10.
This video tells us how to find the value of the determinant. Suppose A, B, C and D are 4 different numbers and they are written in the determinant form like this. Then AD minus BC gives us the value of that particular determinant. An example is solved here in order to make the concept clear. But what happens if instead of giving you numbers like this, I give you simultaneous linear equations? Then those simultaneous linear equations have to be converted in this determinant form and we have to get the value of the variable x and y from there. This method is nothing but Cramer's rule. Also, these determinants where there are 2 rows and 2 columns are called degree or determinant of degree 2. In this chapter, we have all the determinants of degree 2. So before we start with Cramer's rule, let us quickly look at this presentation.
To these given simultaneous equations on the graph, since the lines intersect at 1, 1, this is the solution to the given simultaneous equations. That was easy, wasn't it? However, all simultaneous equations do not have solutions that are easily located by just looking at the graph. Look at this example. Often, the lines are difficult to plot due to fractional or very large values of the variables. When this is the case, we use an alternative approach to solve the equations in question. This method is called the determinant method of solving simultaneous equations. Let's explore this method of solving simultaneous equations with the given example. Let us begin by equating the coefficients. To do this, we must equate the coefficients of either x or y so that one of the variables can be eliminated. The elimination of one of the variables helps us solve for the other. Let us look at solving for the x variable. For this, we must eliminate the y terms. For this purpose, we multiply the coefficient of y in equation 2 with equation 1. Let us call this equation 3. Likewise, we multiply the coefficient of y from equation 1 with equation 2. Let's call this equation 4. Now, subtracting these two equations, the y terms get cancelled out, thereby giving us the value of x. In a similar manner, we can solve for y by eliminating the x terms. On subtracting equation 5 from equation 6, the x terms get cancelled out to give us the value of y. Hence, the solution to the given simultaneous equation is x is equal to -1 and y is equal to 5 over 2. This approach could be used to solve for any simultaneous equations. Let's look at how this method can be generalized. Notice the terms in the numerator and the denominator. These terms can be written in a general form as shown. Such a representation of numbers is called a determinant of order 2. Let's look at writing the values of x and y in the determinant form. Now that we have the determinant form for this particular example, let's see how it can be generalized. Consider these two general linear equations. Now, the corresponding values of x and y can be written in the determinant form as shown. These determinants are denoted as shown. This method of solving simultaneous equations using determinants is known as Cramer's rule.
Okay. I hope you have understood the derivation of the formulas to be used in Cramer's rule. Now I'll tell you what are the things that you need to remember in this. You need to remember the general form, how to get the value of the variable x, that is c1, c2 and b1, b2. Also, you need to remember the general form for the variable y, that is a1, a2, c1, c2. In order to make this concept clear, let me explain you this with the help of an example. Let us take one example, that is 2x plus 5y is equal to 26 and 5x minus 4y is equal to minus 1. The first step in this method is to compare these given equations with the general form. The general form of equations is ax plus by is equal to c. But since there are two equations used in this, we will use a1x plus b1y is equal to c1 and a2x plus b2y is equal to c2. Comparing, we get a1 is equal to 2, a2 is equal to 5, b1 is equal to 5 and b2 is equal to minus 4. You need to take the number along with the sign. c1 is equal to 26 and c2 is equal to minus 1. Now, in order to solve, the formula is x is equal to dx upon d, while y is equal to dy upon d. So, we will first get the value of the determinant. Determinant, the formula, the general form, I hope you remember, a1 a2 and b1 b2. Means I need to write only the coefficients of x and y in both the equations. So a1 is 2, a2 is 5, b1 is 5 and b2 is minus 4. So we will write these values, and by cross multiplying a1 b2 minus b1 a2, we will get the value of the determinant. So determinant is equal to 2, 5, 5 and minus 4. So I hope you remember how to cross multiply also. It is 2 into minus 4. In between these two, there is compulsory a minus sign, minus 5 into 5. So which we get from here, minus 8 minus 25, which is nothing but minus 33. So this is the value of the determinant. Write it, d is equal to minus 33 and put it in a box. Let us come to the first value of x, that is dx, determinant of x. For determinant of x, I have told you, in the place of x coefficients, we will write the constants, that is c1 and c2. So dx is nothing but c1, c2, and p1 and b2 will be same as it is. There we don't have to do any changes. So dx is equal to c1, c2, b1, b2. Substituting the values now. c1 is 26, c2 is minus 1, while b1 is 5 and b2 is minus 4. Cross multiplying, we will get c1 b2 minus b1 c2. So let us substitute these values. 26 minus 1 and 5 and minus 4. So cross multiply. 26 into minus 4, obviously a minus sign in between, and 5 into minus 1. Plus into minus is minus, and 26 into 4 is, we need to multiply it. The answer is 104. Minus 104. Minus into minus is plus, and 5 and is 5. So minus 104 plus 5 is equal to minus 99. You need to write this also. Dx is equal to minus 99. Then comes dy. For dy, the general form is, the x coefficient will be same as it is, but in the place of y coefficient, now we need to write the constants, that is c1, c2. X coefficients are a1, a2, and in place of y coefficient, I will write c1, c2. So a1, a2 and c1, c2. Substituting the values from the two equations, a1 and then cross multiplying it, that is a1 c2 minus c1 a2. So let us substitute the values now. a1 a2 is 2, 5 and c1 c2 is 26 and minus 1. So the value of the determinant can be found out by cross multiplying. 2 into minus 1 minus 26 into 5. So we get minus 2 minus 5 into 26. You need to multiply it. So answer is minus, yes, how much? Minus 130. So that is equal to minus 132. So dy is equal to minus 132. Now, since we have got d, dx and dy, the last thing that is left is to use Cramer's rule and the two formulas which I have already mentioned here. So, x is equal to dx upon d. Dx value we have got as minus 99 and d is equal to minus 33. Minus minus gets cancelled. 33 ones are and 33 threes are. So, x is equal to 3. y is equal to dy upon d. So that is minus 132 upon minus 33. Again minus minus gets cancelled. Y is equal to 4. Solution is 3, 4. So I hope you understood this method. This method, all these steps have to be followed. First writing the general form, comparing it, and then using the formula and getting the final answer. Let us start with practice set 1.3. Question number 1 is fill in the blanks with correct number. And question number 2 is finding the values of the determinant. As you can see, question 1 and question 2 are same type. The only difference is in question 1 they have given it in an activity form, while in question 2 they are asking you to find values of the determinant, which are 1 mark type questions. Let us start with the first one, which is an activity question. To start with, we have to diagonally multiply the numbers as 3 into 5. Now look at the number which is given to us. 3 is already given, so in the box we have to write 5. Then minus because when we do determinant, we find calculation, we do the determinant calculation, we do subtraction, so minus. And then the other number also diagonally you multiply, that is 2 into 4. As 4 is already given, there you need to write 2 in the box. So 3 into 5 minus 2 into 4. So write here 2. That is equal to, now you see you have got both the multiplications, and the next step they are writing as box minus 8. Means they have done the multiplication of 2 into 4. You just have to multiply now 3 into 5 and write 15 in this box. So multiply 3 5s are 15 minus 8, and the answer comes to 15 minus 8 is 7. This is a way you have to find the value of the determinant. Now let us do question number 2, which is also based on the same concept. Now question number 2, as all the sums are of the same type as we have done in question 1, I have already solved question 1 and 2 for you. Just look at the question. First one, find the value of the determinant. D is equal to minus 1, 2, 7 and 4. Same way you have to diagonally multiply it followed by a minus sign. So minus 1 into 4 minus 7 into 2. So that is nothing but minus 4 minus 14. And as you know, when both the numbers are negative, we add it and write the common sign to the answer, that is minus. So minus 4 minus 14 is nothing but minus 18. Similarly, we have done the second sum. Now, out of this, the third one is also similar, but only thing difference is it is having fraction. So I am going to solve it for you. Third sum is determinant is equal to 7 upon 3, 3 upon 2, 5 upon 3, 1 upon 2. Now as you know, you have to diagonally multiply it. So multiply 7 upon 3 into 1 upon 2 minus 5 upon 3 into 3 upon 2. Now fraction multiplications, I hope you know, numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator. So 7 ones are 7, 3 twos are 6. In the second fraction, you can see 3 and 3 common. So first step what you all will do is to cancel that 3 and 3. But I will advise you not to cancel that. I am not telling you it is wrong. But if you don't cancel, then the calculation will become easier. How it will become easier? Because if you don't cancel, then 3 twos will be 6. And when the denominators are equal, then it will become very easy to simplify the numerator. So do not cancel. 3 5s are 15 upon 6. Denominators are same, so write it only once. And 7 minus 15, you have to do that. So write 7 minus 15, that is equal to minus 8. One more thing, if it can be reduced, you have to reduce it further. So it can be reduced to minus 4 upon 3. I hope you have understood this. This is determinant is equal to minus 4 upon 3. Now let us come to the next question. That is the next sum, that is question number 3. In that I am taking question number 2. As you can see, I have written to the right hand side the first step that you need to do in this method. All the equations whichever is given to you has to be in the form ax plus by is equal to c. Now since the first equation is not in that form, I have shifted minus 4 to the right side. It became 4x plus 3y is equal to 4. Similarly, the second equation also, I'll shift 5y to the left hand side so that the equation will be 6x plus 5y is equal to 8. Now you can see both these equations are in the form ax plus by is equal to c, that is constant to the right hand side. Now let us start with determinant. Determinant, the formula is a1 a2 b1 b2. So coefficient of x first, that is 4 and 6. Coefficient of y, that is plus 3 and plus 5. We can write it as 3 and 5. Equal to, now what we have to do is diagonally you have to multiply and subtract. So 4 into 5 minus 3 into 6. So 20 minus 18. It gives us 2. So value of the determinant is 2. First step is over here. Now like this only we need to get the determinant of x, that is dx, and determinant of y, that is dy. So let us start with dx. Dx is nothing but, in the place of x, now we have to write constant, that is c1 c2 b1 b2. c1 c2 is 4 and 8 and b1 b2 is nothing but 3 and 5. So that will be equal to 4 into 5 minus 3 into 8. So 4 5s is 20 minus 3 into 8 is 24. So 20 minus 24, that is equal to minus 4. Second step is over, that is we have found out the value of determinant of x dx. Now let us come to the next step, that is dy. In this method also, in the place of y we will write the constant, that is c1 c2 4 and 8, and in the place of x we will write the x coefficient. So it is actually a1 a2 c1 c2. So 4 6 and 4 8. The same way we have to find out the value of this determinant. 4 into 8 minus 4 into 6. So 32 minus 24. And we get 32 minus 24 as equal to 8. Now by using Cramer's rule, we have to use the two formulas which we have learned, that is x is equal to dx upon d and y is equal to dy upon d. So x is equal to, write the formula dx upon d, and in exam you need to highlight such formulas. So dx is how much here? Dx is minus 4 and d is 2. So minus 4 by 2 is equal to minus 2. Hence the first variable that we have got here is x and the value is minus 2. One part of the answer is over. Similarly, now let us find out y using the formula dy upon d. Now dy value is 8, 8 upon 2, which is nothing but 4. Hence the second value of the variable, that is y, is equal to 4. The final answer is x is equal to minus 2, y is equal to 4 is the solution of this equation. I hope you have understood this. Now since you have understood the second sum, I am taking the fourth sum of the exercise and I have already solved it for you. Since they are similar, have a look at it and I hope you all are writing it. Take the fourth sum. 6x minus 4y is equal to minus 12 and 8x minus 3y is equal to minus 2. As I have told you, the given equation should be in the form ax plus by is equal to c, and in both of these equations the constant is to the right hand side. So we don't have to change anything in this. We will directly start with the determinant. For determinant, the formula is a1 a2 b1 b2, that is coefficient of x and coefficient of y. So 6 8 and minus 4 and minus 3. Multiplying it and followed by subtraction, we get the value as 14. Same way for dx, the formula is, in the place of x coefficient, now I will write the constant, that is c1 c2. So minus 12 and minus 2, and y coefficient will be same as it is, minus 4 and minus 3. Now cross multiply, minus 12 minus 3, minus sign, and then minus 4 into minus 2. Minus minus will become plus 36, and minus 4 into minus 2 will become minus 8. minus because there is a minus sign outside, as you can see. So 36 minus 8 comes to 28. Similarly, dy is equal to 84. Now using the formula x is equal to dx upon d, you get x is equal to 2, and using formula y is equal to dy upon d, you get y is equal to 6. I hope fourth sum is clear. Now I'll take directly the last sum of this exercise, which is having fractions in it. Before the last sum, I've even solved a fifth sum for you. As you can see, the variables used here is m and n. I only want you to understand that in this sum, if the variables are not x and y, how will the way of writing change? You have the habit of writing dx and dy, but look at this. But if the variables are m and n, it will change to determinant of m, that is dm, and determinant of n, that is dn. And the formula of Cramer's rule also changes as m is equal to dm upon d and n is equal to dn upon d. Remaining everything is similar to what we have already done in the previous sums. Coming to the last question of practice set 1.3. Look at the equation. The first equation is 2x plus 3y is equal to 2. It is absolutely in the form ax plus by is equal to c. But the second equation, x minus y upon 2 is equal to 1 upon 2. The first step is to bring it in this form. So we will multiply by the denominator in order to get rid of the denominator. So multiplying all the terms by 2, we get 2 into x as 2x, y upon 2 into 2. 2 and 2 will get cancelled, so minus y, and 1 upon 2 into 2. Again that 2 and 2 will get cancelled, so 1. Hence, this equation is transformed into a standard form now. The standard form is x, y and the constant to the right hand side. So the equation is 2x minus y is equal to 1. Let us write the two given equations now. The first equation was 2x plus 3y is equal to 2, and second is 2x minus y is equal to 1. Now the same method to be followed. First we will find out the determinant, that is a1, a2, b1, b2. Coefficient of x 2 and 2, coefficient of y 3, and nothing is written means 1. So we will take 3 minus 1. Now again the same method, diagonally multiplying it and subtracting it. So I will write 2 into minus 1, that is minus 2, and there should be a minus sign in between. 3 into 2. So we get, and whenever we take minus sign, it's better that we put it in a bracket. So 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, minus 3 into 2 is minus 6. So the answer comes to determinant is equal to minus 8. Similarly, we will find out dx and dy. Let us start with dx. As you know, for dx, the x place should be occupied by the constants, that is 2 and 1. Whereas the y place will be the coefficient of y, that is 3 and minus 1. Similarly, find out dx now. 2 into minus 1, put it in a bracket properly, minus 3 into 1. 2 into minus 1 is minus 2, minus 3, which is nothing but minus 5. Therefore, dx is equal to minus 5. Let us come to the last part of the sum, that is determinant of y, dy. For determinant of y, in the place of y, we will write the constant. So the constant is 2 and 1. So 2 and 1 you write first, and in the place of x, you write the coefficient of x, that is 2 and 2. Diagonally cross multiply it, so 2 into 1 minus 2 into 2. So 2 ones are 2, minus 2 twos are 4. So we get 2 minus 4, which is nothing but minus 2. 2 minus 4, that is equal to minus 2. Hence dy is equal to minus 2. We have got all the values now. D we have got, dx we have got, and dy we have got. What is now left is to use Cramer's rule. So by using Cramer's rule, we get x is equal to dx upon d, and that is, substitute the values, minus 5 upon d is minus 8, minus and minus gets cancelled. Since it cannot be further reduced, leave that as a final answer. So x is equal to 5 upon 8. Come to y. Y is equal to dy upon d. Again substitute the values. Dy is minus 2 and d is minus 8. First thing is cancel minus and minus sign. This fraction can further be reduced. 2 ones are 2 fours are. So the answer is 1 upon 4. Final answer is x is equal to 5 upon 8 and y is equal to 1 upon 4 is the solution of this simultaneous equation. With this we come to the end of this session and end of practice set 1.3. I hope 1.3 is clear to you. Now we come to the last part of the session, that is assignment. Number 3. Now it is based on practice set 1.3. As you know, it is not possible to solve each and every sum here. So I have collected a few very easy sums from the practice set 1.3 which are related to whatever I have taught you today. I really request you to be sincere and solve all these sums so that the concept is clearly understood by you. So with this we come to the end of today's session. I hope you have understood properly practice set 1.3. Thank you.